What is up, YouTube? That's here, bringing you guys another set of games with my Mega Metagross team. Remember from yesterday's games, we showcased this team, and it's Evasion Boosted, Follow Me Fable, then it's Psych Up Terrakion, the Psych Up Mega Metagross, the Standard Zapdos set with a Tailwind, Standard Milotic set to make these make the Intimidators and Pokemon like Landorus have a second chance about winning against me, and then a Standard Hydreigon Life Orb set. I don't remember if I've changed it to the Choice Spec set, but for now I think we're using the Life Orb. The second half of the team completely standard. The first half of the team really out there using double Psych Up physical sweepers. So leading off against Cotters here, he's using Sylveon, Hariyama, Cresselia, Mawile, Talonflame, and Amoonguss. Gonna be leading off against Trick Room today, so without further ado, let's start things off, get into it, and we see Clefable being my lead. I know I already described it. We're gonna be packing Moonblast, Moonlight, Follow Me, and Minimize. So best set for that thing. We're leading off against Sylveon and Hariyama. So we have the potential Fake Out Hyper Voice, we have like Fake Out Safeguard, bunch of stuff leading from this potential lead. I'm going to Mega because I'm not really afraid and I plan on attacking this turn. I want to utilize Tough Claws to the best of my ability. I go for the Iron Head onto the Sylveon who protects. I was foolish here, I expected the Sylveon to be Spexed. So that's why I just went for the potential one-hit KO with the Iron Head on that Sylveon slot. He's going to retaliate with a knockoff from the Hariyama. Not really doing all that much. Note that we don't see a Flame Orb on that Hariyama slot, so it probably has an Assault Vest. We then see Sylveon switch out in for Cresselia this turn. And then Hariyama, actually, he doesn't have an Assault Vest. He goes for a Protect. What the heck item is on this guy? I have no idea. Maybe it's a Lumberry. Let's just say that it's a Lumberry on the Hariyama for now because I don't know. And I don't think I ever figured it out as the game went on because he goes down to a one-shot from a crit Tough Claws stabbed Zen Headbutt. Gonna one-shot the Hariyama. And yeah, the evasions are just starting to pile up. I've already Psych Upped one, so I have a Clefable at ×2, or sorry, what is it, ×4 evasion, and I have a Metagross at ×2 right now, just in time for Amoonguss to come in here. I decided to go for the Follow Me just in case he decides to go for the Spore. It's going to get redirected into Clefable, and it's going to let Metagross get a chance to attack with whatever it wants. My opponent then goes for an Ice Beam that also missed onto the Clefable slot, just in time for Zen Headbutt to almost finish off this Amoonguss. I was really hoping that that would get the one shot, but sadly it's going to let him start slowly coming back in this game with his Black Sludge. So Cresselia is going to switch out, probably doesn't want to mess around with this anymore, probably just realized there's no KO power that it really has in this situation, and we see the Amoonguss go for the Protect. Kind of funny to see Amoonguss protecting a Trick Room where it's already the fastest thing in the, like, by far. I decided to Protect because I'm trying to wait for my Clefable to wake up so I can start Follow Me again, and this turn pretty much didn't even happen. He just got a free switch into his Sylveon, which is pretty good for him. Starting off turn 6, he goes for a Rage Powder instead of actually going for the Spore here. Going for a Hyper Voice as well. It's going to make contact with Clefable and Metagross. Then Clefable is going to wake up, and it's going to let me go for a Minimize here. So I have a ton of Minimizes, and remember, since Trick Room's on the board, Clefable is faster than Metagross, just so you know, in case that actually matters. So we're going to pick up a KO onto the Amoonguss here in the Trick Room. Trick Room's almost up, just in time for Cresselia, his last Pokemon, to come in here. And now, I don't really want my Metagross to keep eating these Hyper Voices, so I think probably another Evasion Boost is probably a pretty good idea. I go for the Moonlight here with the Clefable, and instead of taking out the Sylveon, actually I think I go for the right play here. I think I could have took out the Sylveon, but I expected him to Protect. I Psych Upped, and now I have two Pokemon that have full evasion right here. There's like no way my opponent is really ever going to be able to come back in this situation. I go for the Iron Head because I just thought the Sylveon would go for a Protect here. I thought he would go for like a Protect Trick Room. Didn't really happen that way. He's just trying to chip my Metagross down, but there's no way he's making contact with my Metagross anymore thanks to all these evasion boosts I have. We're also going to see the Sylveon go for the Hyper Voice, but as you can see, once you have this much evasion, there's like no way that they can ever make contact with you. So I decided to go for the Follow Me just in case, because I decided to nuke the Sylveon slot this turn. I thought worst case scenario he protected and Ice Beamed, and there's no way he's really making contact to my Metagross if I use the Follow Me here. And from here, Metagross is going to go down to the recoil from the Iron Head, but it will leave a lingering effect in the fact that it flinches the Cresselia for this turn. So take that, Iron, or what is it, like Rocky Helmet Cresselia. So you flinch just in time to get finished off by a stabbed Moonblast from the Clefable. So pretty good game overall, showcasing how even if you get one Psych Up, that doesn't mean you can't go back for seconds or thirds and Psych Up even more times once Clefable has even more evasion if they decide not to get rid of it. So I felt this was a pretty good battle, explaining how to use the team and a little bit more in depth of their items and a little bit of the how to play the Psych Up evasion combo. So we're going to go into game 2, and we're leading off against his team's on the bottom, Slim Spazzy, who has, well, wow, the order's all weird. normally the order up here is the same order that it would be over here, but it's all weird. We have Azumarill, Amoonguss, Kangaskhan, Thundurus, Therian, Aegislash, and Talonflame. So pretty aggressive team. Looks more like a 2014 team with like a Thundurus instead of a Zapdos. But we're just gonna get right into it. And this game I think is pretty long, so we'll see how it goes. We see the Azumarill lead off, paired off with the Amoonguss here, and at this point, I'm expecting like a Rage Powder Belly Drum. That looks like exactly what this combo is. So I'm planning on letting him get his Belly Drum off at the cost of his Amoonguss while trying to set up my Clefable at the same time. So I try and Zen Hut at the Amoonguss. I get the KO on it, but his Effect Spore actually puts my Metagross to sleep. And a game that should have been super easy now looks like it's going to be a little bit harder to get the victory. Because since Metagross was put to sleep after attacking, his sleep counter is super long. It's going to be 2 or 3 turns until I wake up, of full turns. So I realize Metagross is probably going to be useless. So I'm going to try and wait this out the best I can. Aegislash also comes in. That's another check to my Clefable. I get a second Minimize off, but these Flash Cannons hit so hard. Yeah, like Flash Cannon almost gets the one-shot. We also see that he's using a Life Orb set. So we're also going to see the, obviously Metagross is going to go down to the Waterfall here. So not the best turns so far. We lose Metagross early, which is not the best, but Terrakion will come and try and pick up the slack. Remember, I've used 2 Minimizes with Clefable, so if I can get those Minimizes off onto Terrakion, I shouldn't be in too terrible a spot, I guess. So Terrakion goes for the Psych Up. I have 2 Minimizes off my Terrakion now, just in time for a Moonlight here. And I expected the pretty standard King Shield from the Aegislash, but the Waterfall actually does make contact to my Clefable. But now we're going to see the Wide Card come and play just in time for my Terrakion to start attacking with Rock Slide. So not the best stuff. This turn is going to pretty much wash out. And just in time for Clefable to get a Moonlight off. And then I think Azumarill misses an attack as well. Yeah. So I guess this turn wasn't a complete wash. I scouted the Wide Guard, and I got a free Moonlight off on my Clefable. So since my Terrakion isn't invincible, I don't really want to lose it, and I'm expecting him to nuke me this turn. I decided to go for a Protect. I don't really want to lose my Terrakion in case I have to. I then eat another Flash Cannon, and this one's going to drop my Special D. So what this tells me is if I ever want to go back up to full health with my Clefable, I'll get one-shotted by another Flash Cannon. So at this point, Clefable's probably not doing a whole lot in this game. He also eat the Rock Slide this turn. So I don't know. Things haven't really happened that much for the past 2 turns since I got all these evasion boosts off. And this is a perfect example of why this wouldn't really work at a LAN, because I'm super bad at starting. The way this game has turned out, nothing's really happened for so long that since games, you only have a 15-minute timer at a VGC, and the 15 minutes of time would have already been up since turns take about 60 seconds to lock in. So I know you guys probably are thinking this is a super cool combo. I want to play with this type of team. Like, you're playing on the edge, you're playing with things that annoy your opponent, but this only really works on Showdown. I mean, you could try and take it to a LAN, but you'll probably lose a few games to time before you start really packing on the victories. So finally, after a bajillion turns, we take out the Azumarill, and we come up a Pokemon ahead, and finally the Aegislash is going to miss, and he's pretty much done with this game too. So this is where he forfeits. I mean, it was going to be hard for him to come back, but this is probably pretty much the way you're going to win most of your games. People are going to lose a Pokemon early or lose a Pokemon after a long time like this game, and they're just going to rage quit. And at VGCs, that doesn't really happen. You see people realize, oh, if they're going to play that waiting game, I'm just going to wait them out, and I'm going to sneak a victory at the last minute of time. So this team, while it is really fun to play with, note that it probably won't work at LANs, and it's just a team for fun. I might try and use it at the International Challenge coming up, but other than that, it's a team for Showdown. I hope you guys enjoyed these games. This team is kind of fun to play with. The first game was definitely a lot more fun to play and cast versus the second one, which is just a grindy game trying to Rock Slide down an Aegislash. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed these games, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.